Greetings, movie fans, and welcome to SMG Movie Talks. I am Sean, and I'm here to provide my review for Fantastic Four: First Steps. For those of you who don't know about the cinematic history of the Fantastic Four, the first ever Fantastic Four movie was created in 1994 and directed by Roger Corman. That movie was made on only a $1 million budget, but it was never intended to see the light of day. Essentially, it was made just so they could maintain rights to the Fantastic Four so they could make another movie in the future. Well, fast forward more than 10 years later, in 2005 and 2007, we had the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. And these are the ones that most people are familiar with. These are the ones that had Chris Evans, they had Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis, and they're the ones that you probably saw. If you've seen any Fantastic Four movies, those are probably the ones you saw. And those were, for all intent and purposes, okay. The first one probably better than the second one, but neither was really great. They were really a product of their time. So back then, 2005, 2007, there weren't the most high quality superhero movies being made. Sure, there were some good ones, X-Men 2, Spider-Man 2, and a few others. But for the most part, the superhero genre just hadn't hit its stride yet. So while at their time they were maybe okay, now if you look back on them, they're kind of a tough watch. Then in 2015, Josh Trank released his movie, and that's the one that had Kate Mara, it had Michael B. Jordan, it had Miles Teller, and that movie was problematic to say the least. And it was problematic from the perspective of the director and the studio were at odds throughout the filmmaking process. So constantly what Josh Trank, the director, wanted to do was getting shot down by the studio, whether it was casting certain actors and actresses in the movie or going a certain direction during the filming. So basically throughout the entire process, they were just at odds with one another, and it showed in the movie. The movie was rough, and I barely watched it one time. I sat through it and never felt inclined to watch it again. So here we are now, 2025, and the new Fantastic Four: First Steps just came out. That movie was directed by Matt Shakman, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. I thought it was excellent. This is exactly what we needed out of a Fantastic Four movie. This proves that Fantastic Four movies don't have to be terrible. They can actually be good. They can be a well-told story. They can look good. And everything that came together in this movie is just wonderful. The score by Michael Giacchino was absolutely phenomenal. Just whether it be kind of the choral song that you hear a few times where they're singing Fantastic Four, or just like the menacing tone when Galactus was on the screen, everything in the score was absolutely phenomenal. And usually scores aren't something that I notice a lot. Maybe I notice if it's bad or if it's wonderful, like a John Williams score, but this was one of the first movies in a while, especially for a Marvel movie, that I really felt the score and felt it just you could just feel it inside you as you're sitting there in the theater. Also, the CGI was great. The movie looked wonderful. I would have liked to have seen it on a larger screen, large format, but I saw it in my local theater, so I didn't see it on like an IMAX screen. But I heard it's great in IMAX. But across the board, like when they're in space and going through different like time dilations and things like that, man, it was great. It was really cool to see what they were putting on the screen there. Galactus just looked incredible and menacing, and you could feel the fear of the people in the city and the people as they're trying to figure out how they can combat Galactus. Can they escape him? What's going on? It was one of the first movies in a while by Marvel that you actually kind of felt that fear too, because a lot of times I feel like Marvel now, the people of the land, the people, I guess, in the cities and all that, are so used to like superheroes and supervillains and all that it doesn't seem to feel as terrifying as it did in this movie. So seeing just how the people were afraid, like, hey, is Galactus going to come and eat my planet? And as you've probably seen in one of the main trailers, that Galactus wants Franklin Richards. He wants the baby, and the people are kind of wrestling with, well, give him the baby then. Save us, give him the baby. And that kind of fear within the people was really cool to see, because I haven't seen that in a while. Just the world building as a whole in the movie was really, really wonderful. It had this retro futuristic feel. I guess the best way to describe it would be like the Jetsons, where took place in the past. So this movie kind of took place in an alternate version of the 60s, but it looked futuristic. So you had some kind of flying cars or some buildings that look futuristic. So I kind of had that blend of retro and future style. And so that was really neat to see. In all the kind of the running piece throughout, I think the best part of the movie was really the family aspect. You've got this family of the Fantastic Four. I mean, you've got Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm, and you could tell that they really loved each other. And there's sometimes you see some of these movies, especially the other Fantastic Four movies, where sure they're family, but I almost didn't believe that they really cared for each other sometimes. And in this one, you really did. Even like the Ben Grimm and the Johnny Storm, while they kind of had banter sometimes, you could tell that they truly loved each other and cared for each other. And that was really great to see. There's a few things that maybe were a bit of misses. While I said the CGI was great on Galactus and in space and some things like that, there are a couple points where it was a little shaky. The baby, Franklin Richards, there was a couple times where you could tell it was a CGI baby and it looked a little off. Now, granted, they probably just don't have a baby on screen all the time and all that, or in the studio, so they had to do what they had to do. And, at the end of the day, that's fine. And then I guess I would say Reed's stretching powers a few times felt a little off, while everyone else, I think Sue's and Johnny's and the Thing, Ben's powers look great on screen. They're just a little kind of wonky a little bit with Reed. But as a whole, I love the movie. I thought it was really what we needed out of a movie kind of leading into this next phase where we'll get Doomsday next year. I really liked Thunderbolts that came out earlier this year, and I thought that was a great Marvel movie. But this Fantastic Four was, I would say, when Marvel's at its best, it makes this kind of movie, and Fantastic Four was that. And it's been a while since I feel like we've had that. I don't know, maybe since Endgame. I would have to kind of rehash and go through the movies and all that again. But it's been a while since we have had a truly great Marvel movie. I don't know where I'd rank this on my total ranking of Marvel films. For sure in the top 20, maybe in the top 10. I would have to kind of rehash it and work it out, but I loved it. I want to see it again, and I highly encourage everyone to go see it. And even if you're not a Marvel fan, even if you haven't seen a single Marvel movie, this is one of the most accessible Marvel movies in a while. You could have no background on Marvel, have no idea what has happened in a Marvel movie, and still see this movie and get out of it what you need to. It doesn't have a whole lot of building off of other events that have happened in previous movies, because this takes place in a whole new world, a whole new part of the multiverse that they haven't explored before. So they were really able to kind of do what they want with this movie, and that was really refreshing to see. So even if you haven't seen a Marvel movie, but you're just looking to see a good movie, a well-told story with maybe a good family aspect to it, I highly encourage you to see it. If I had to rate this movie, I'd give it an 8.2 out of 10. So again, love the movie, think it was a great fit for the MCU, and I highly encourage you to watch it. So thanks again for coming out and being part of this channel. For those of you who don't know much about me, my name is Sean, and I love movies. I love talking about movies, and I've wanted to do something like this for ages, but I've just never dove in. I've maybe been a little scared or anxious or not knowing what to do, but I decided, hey, I just need to dive in. I just need to release some videos and just go for it. So this is my first review for the channel. I hoped you liked it. I would love it if you could leave a comment, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and help it to grow. So right now, I don't have much of a setup. I've got a few little props behind me. I'm recording this in one take on my phone, so I hope I didn't mess up too much. But I'm hoping to get in the future more equipment, so get some a nice computer with some editing software, some better lighting, a better phone, not better phone, but better camera, better microphone, all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping to get all that as I go on through this process and pick up some equipment and just continue down this process. But I would love to just keep doing this. Thanks again for being part of this. And I do have a crowdfunding campaign through Indiegogo. I will leave a link to that in the description, where if you want to donate to help build this channel, that would be wonderful. But if not, just being part of it, just coming in, watching my videos, liking, commenting, sharing my videos, anything like that would be just wonderful. even if I have not a single cent donated, I would still just love to do this as something to do for the community, where I can have an opportunity to talk with people, get my opinion out there on movies, and just be part of this community. So again, thank you for watching this video, and until next time, be kind to one another.